People, good afternoon. I hope you are well. I just want to share a few ideas about the negativity and critical aspects that's been thrown around on social media, um, especially about our leadership and within our executive and people that are supporting us. Um, I personally have been through a couple of things in the last few weeks whereby a person even swore me by getting involved with a UIM and affiliating myself with Neil de Beer. And it really runs like water from a goose's neck. And the same happened with Neil. All this irritating messages about rings and things, and even my moustache. It's nice and grey. I love it. Hello, Rina. It's nice and grey, and I love it. But if you want to have me have it shaved, I'll shave it just to uh, for a joke, and it's not a problem. I can take a joke. Um, People, I've been seeing. Hi, Miranda. I've been seeing a lot of messages about Anthony Hall that's been spread around. Hallo Lorna, jy's pragtig. Baie dankie vir julle support. I've been seeing a lot of messages, and I listen to Anthony's videos quite often and occasionally, and sometimes when the president of the Nutter Club gets talking and getting people hyped up and excited and everything, it's sometimes very laughable. And we agree that. Hello, Andreas, goed met jy? Hello, Teresa. Um, it's very laughable and it breaks the ice on different levels. But seeing a man that's doing so much within his community and throughout South Africa, especially when it relates to addicts, it's really heartbreaking when you see that people wants to run him down. Um, and it's so unnecessary, people. I had the privilege of looking at Anthony's videos and uploads, and not only the uploads, his interaction with the public on various levels. Um, we've seen what he's done internationally, nationally, and locally, and within his communities. And I'm not asked by Anthony to do this. And yes, there's certain things that I agree with what he do and the way that he do this, and there's other issues which we need to suppress ourselves. But that does not give anyone the reason to go, hello Bonnie, hello Jeanette, that doesn't give anyone the reason to discredit the person. Um, he's been a very good policeman. That's been said by his peers. All the ladies loves this man because of him being straightforward, not beating around the bush, and being honest about his feelings, and that's his right to do that. And it's not about me or Neil or the UIM at this stage. It's about an individual that's constantly being discredited because of his views and his opinions. And I think it's unfair. It's really unfair of how he's been discredited and badmouthed by certain individuals within society. If we can't say something good about someone, leave it. Have you gone beyond the Facebook pages and the videos and really made the effort to call him, to give him a telephone call, and he doesn't always answer? Believe you me, he even drops my calls, and I'm going to keep him accountable for that because I've got 2, 3 numbers that I work from. One just purely for WhatsApp. Hello, Lorna. And we have to defend each other if you know the person. And I haven't known Anthony until I've met him um, a few days ago at the Union Buildings. Apologies for that. But I've seen the Anthony on the back of a bakkie. making a statement which a politician couldn't even make, sharing his views and opinions of the farm murders. That needs to be recognized. The fact that, hello Laura, hello Teresa, the fact that he went and made the cases against Frikkie, the fact that he could reconcile people, the fact that he's firm in what he says, that could never be taken away from him. And we must remember that. And as a friend, and I'm not talking whether he likes Neil or whether he doesn't like him, or whether he likes me or he doesn't like me, I never judge a person, nobody, until I've got the factual information. And that's currently what's happening. Hello, Trisha. What's happening to Neil at the moment, and to Anthony. Has anyone just taken the courtesy of picking up a telephone? You don't have to drive to them. You don't want to physically see them, but just engage with them. Get to know the person behind the Facebook. Get the person to know behind the telephone call. And then you'll maybe have a better understanding of the person. If you or anyone that looks at this posting of mine, if anyone discredits you and they tell me, Johan, Laura is this, or Trish is this, or Anthony is this, or Neil is that, or Andreas is this, I will never ever believe them until I've had the similar experiences. And I always give a person a fair chance to prove himself. And that is of critical importance, people, that we never ever judge a person, and I agree with you, Laura, that we never ever discredit a person if you do not know their real intentions. When we see Anthony at night making jokes, and I've seen him from 10 o'clock even up to 1 o'clock, it's his time, it's his money, it's his efforts. What does Anthony want? And I'm just talking about my perception. Anthony seeks change in this country. He really seeks to reach out to people that's got trouble, troubled families. Just remember, it's not only about the addicted person that he's assisting. It's also accommodating their families. And that's critical, that we need to understand that a person that's going through an addiction problem is affecting everything around him. His family, his mother, his father, his children, the brothers, the sisters, everyone. And that's the issues that Anthony and his brilliant team, and I'm saying a brilliant team because I've met some of them, they're so dedicated and loyal. And how could we tarnish a person if he's taken a person from the gutters and built him up, employed them, gave them positions of power within the RAEL organization, giving them the authority to make decisions when he's not there. The RAEL ship is running without Anthony continuously there. He can't speak to them the whole time on a telephone. He has to be there to take control. And now what is happening? Because he's built credibility and have a disciplined organization which looks after these people. That's why he's successful. That's why he's recognized within his communities, within his province, nationally and internationally. And that needs to be recognized. And the mere fact that he said this morning, he slept 6 days at his house in the last few months. And let me tell you why I've got admiration for what he's doing. I had a mother that also had Alzheimer's. She was also staying with me at home. They need continuous care. They need continuous support from those people close to them. And that's why it's so important. But what has Neil done? He's taken his mother and placed her in the care of caretakers and under the doc, which is standing side by side with him, and his staff, and Kurt, and Graham, and all these youngsters that's assisted, little Tanky. which is a beautiful young boy. I haven't met him, but I've seen him. And we must give recognition where it's deserved, people. And let me just go a little bit further. All these people that's discrediting them, what is the intention? Are they trying to downrun Anthony for what happened in the past? I've never seen a person that's opened up about his past. Goldstone Commission, the fact that he was involved in the murder and robbery squad, the fact that he was sleeping on the benches, the fact that he was a drunkard, utilizing drugs, being involved in the underworld. That does not mean he's a bad person. He has repented and God has forgiven him. So who are we, me and you, to discredit him? If God takes a person, and believe me, I'm talking out of experience, if God takes a person, he turns him around. And God has given us the duty and responsibility to affect changes in people's lives. For the past 20 years, I've been doing what I'm doing. And it's not only since I was elected on the UIM executive, but for many, many years. You are born like that. You are bred like that. It's within your genes. You're either an activist or you're not an activist. An activist cannot be taught. They need to be supported. And some of us are born entrepreneurs, born activists, because that's what we continuously do. You will rather take 100 Rand and support someone in need than put something on your own table, because you always place people's interest first. And that's what we really are. And I think, and that's just my fervent opinion, that Anthony is exactly the same. Anthony always places people in front of him. And if we cannot acknowledge what he's doing for us as a country, and not doing for me or for Neil or for the UIM or any one of the executives or even for yourselves, but he's the president of the Nutters Club. Give him that recognition. He makes us laugh. He's straightforward. He's direct. And he is firm in his decision making. He's sometimes too abrupt. He's sometimes too direct. He's sometimes not so diplomatic. But that's who he is. Let's accept him for what he is. Who are me and you to judge him? And going back to the incident at the union buildings, and I've explained that many times to a lot of people, telephonically and even on Facebook. When Anthony came out of the union buildings premises, he came to me and he said, he literally hugged me 2-3 times. And he said, thanks for being there. He showed that immediate appreciation. And that I will never forget. Because he didn't know me. He saw me on Facebook and he heard about me and all the rubbish and whatever, and moustaches and tackies and flip-flops and PT shorts and t-shirts. Yes, he saw me in PT shorts. And he saw me in a t-shirt because I responded immediately when the call came through. And the call was not made by anyone else but by Anthony supporters that seek support. And that's why I literally didn't have time to put in even clean clothes. I got into what I had, into my Mercedes, and I left. And it's not a new Mercedes. And I drove all the way there. But getting at the union buildings on the outside, he literally hugged me 2, 3, 4, even 4, 5 times. I can't even remember. Thanking me for the fact I did not give him 1 cent. I gave him my time and my effort, my loyalty, because that's what friends are doing for each other. When they're in a time of need, people, we need to be there for them. So that creates respect and trust amongst ourselves and us as leaders and us as community stakeholders. And I'm just an ordinary man. But what he did that day is critical. We went through the motions. We went and I suppressed all the emotions. He then said, do I need someone to go with me? And I said it's unnecessary. They can remain with him. Because of that situation, we wanted to suppress it so that the emotions doesn't hype or get hyped up. From there, we went to the hospital. And he was as cool, calm, and collective as when he's talking the way that I do now. Generous, still seeing that everyone has got cold drinks, and doing what he does best, and that is to attract people to him. And that's of utmost importance. But be that as it may, what happened transpired thereafter at the police station. Anthony sat in his bakkie and he said to me, Johan, will you take over this process? And I lifted my hand and I said, yes, I'm there for you. We stood there from the accident happened, during the course of the day, I can't even remember the time, up to 9, 10 o'clock at night. After which we succeeded in our objectives. But the critical thing is that we must remember, there was telephone calls from families, from friends, from people within the UIM, everyone wanting to find out if Anthony is fine. And we just told them everything is fine, everything is sorted out, whilst it wasn't sorted out. Because if we created that hype the whole time, the telephones were already going mad, what would happen? You're just psyching up people's emotions. And I didn't even tell Anthony of all the calls that I received and the Zoom meetings that we had about this incident. In the vehicle, in my vehicle, before, in front of the hospital. But what Anthony did that evening is and he said to me, when the lawyer made the cost available, the costing, Anthony did not hesitate 1 second to take out 10,500 Rand to assist Michael with his case. Not 1 second. And he said to me, and that was a private discussion, and I'm disclosing that because that's what people don't know, is that even if it costed me 20,000 Rand, I would have paid. Thanks, Bonnie. The next moment he said, even if it costed me 100,000 Rand, I will not leave my boy in that prison cell. And that needs to be respected. That Anthony went out of his way, although he wasn't in charge of the situation, to accumulate the funds, and he literally got in his bakkie and counted, him and Graham counted the 100 Rand notes to pay the lawyer. I saw that. I just told him, be careful because of the area, that people don't pick that up. And now I see, when we got into the police station, after the payments was made, the very same police people that opened the case against Michael, Anthony did not at 1 second handle them any way else than anyone else that he spoke to. Even the lawyer, the police staff. So he was very balanced at the police station. And that we need to give recognition. Imagine yourself, a policeman locking someone up, which has been freed the next day, the case has been caught. He had more than enough reason to react in the police station. But what we did, and strategically I went into the police station, Graham was sitting on the outside, and I explained everything that happened and shared the information of what happened, engaging the lawyer telephonically. Before we got into the actual police station with Anthony, everything was basically resolved. And you can ask him that. He did not write one statement. Neither did I, neither did Graham, give a statement to what transpired at the union buildings. And that must be remembered. But when Anthony walked into the police station, he was as cool and calm as a cucumber. But now, what I want to come to, and that's the Anthony that I experienced. The next moment, Anthony gave Graham some money. And the next moment I just felt something going into my pocket. I didn't ask for that. I went to Anthony and I said, this is unnecessary. And he said, forget it. And that's the type of person that Anthony is. And when he says that he goes out to people and he pays for himself, it's genuine, people. I experienced it myself. And now you get people contacting him for money, for support, but the very same people that's seeking his support, because he's got an open hand and an open heart, people want to use him and abuse him. And that happens with good-hearted people. I've seen that many times in my life. When you've got an open hand and an open heart, and you really embrace people and you bring them closer to you, they abuse you. And the moment you are abused, the only time that you fight is when there's money and when there's no money. And in this case, I believe that people that's discrediting or trying to discredit Anthony is people that has no money, that constantly seeking, they want him very close to them because they want to steal the limelight. Anthony doesn't need to steal the limelight. He's already in the limelight, just as many of ourselves. And we must understand that Anthony has, over the past 15, 16 years, accumulated funding, which he's giving back into communities. So how can we discredit a person like that? If he really assists people, donates, sponsors people. So now you get these critics, irrespective of which organization they are, trying to discredit him. And today, and I'm saying that upfront, open and honestly, that if Anthony presses on my number anytime, I'll do it again what I've done. And I believe he would do the same. The same with the youngsters that was assisted will do the same. And I think that we need to understand that this man is now being hung against the wall by individuals. People that's posing to support him, but in the background not supporting him. And I will have a discussion about certain issues with him, because I like the man. I like the jokes that he's cracking. I like the serious Anthony. I like a lot of things about Anthony, but there's certain things which we will discuss in private, which is not necessary for this platform. But he's straightforward, and he's even told us on certain groupings on WhatsApp what he believes in. So he's not scared to raise his voice. We've never had a situation where myself and Anthony has disagreed on something. But I also know that he's hot-headed, he's hot-blooded, and something triggers him like this because of the negativity that's thrown towards a man that always opens up to other people. And I think when you get that negativity, you trigger something within Anthony which is unnecessary. I think he's a beautiful soul. I think that he is a child of God. I believe that he is good for his people. I believe that he's a good fiance to the doc. I believe that each and everyone on his grouping has drawn him closer. He's almost becoming like a family member to many of us because of his views, the way that he interacts with people. And sometimes, yes, when he swears and all those kind of things. But why does he swear? Why does he do what he's doing? It's because he's agitated. I don't know who is this Mornay or this Debbie that he's talking about, but it's getting rather irritating of what they are doing. And I think they need to stop with it. Why can't we work together than discrediting each other? And that's one of the reasons that I'm placing this video. Stop it. Engage with a man one-to-one. Don't go and shout from somewhere or utilize Facebook as a medium to raise your grievances. if you've got guts, speak to Anthony. I think he's the type of person that should you apologize, he would accept that. He's not the type of person that wants to keep grievances amongst people. He's a loving person. He's a kind-hearted person. And that's what my personal experiences was. And I've got a God-given talent. I can sum up a person within half an hour. And there's very little time or very few times that I've been mistaken by analyzing a person. And when I believe in someone, I believe in someone. And I believe that Anthony is the type of person that I would be able to go to war with. Because if you've got his backing, you've got it. And that's critical. And that we can say within the UIM team as well. The people are solid people. They're caring and loving people that wants to affect change. And I just wanted to come up for Anthony today, merely for this reason. Because I saw these people agitating him, discrediting him. And it's not really necessary. Thanks, Suzelle. You're a pretty lady and I love you to bits. You're one of our assets and one of our rocks within the organization that I chair, FIRA. And yes, there's a lot of other people, which is brilliant. And they're very supportive. They understand what we are doing and what we are trying to achieve. But I think let's get the people right. Let's groom each other and build each other up rather than breaking someone down. It's so unnecessary. You know, just a stupid thing. Someone just this morning asked me when I'm going to cut my moustache. If you want me to cut it, I'll cut it now, in full public view. But I won't give you the pleasure if I don't want to do that, because I'm also stubborn. I know what I want in life, and I know where we want to take the country. And that's why I believe in Anthony. I believe in Neil. I believe in all the leadership that's with us. Are firm. We are not pushovers. That must be understood. We're no pushovers. We're not a run over just to plead innocent if we're not innocent. I believe in the legal saying. Kali, I'll send you my new page now. That you are not guilty until proven guilty. And no one else will change my mindset about that. And I've said it earlier. Even if anyone says that Anthony is a hooligan, or a Satanist, or a terrorist, or a spy, or Neil has did this, or Neil has done that, even with the whole ring issue, it's really becoming ridiculous, people. Let's build each other up, let's unite, let's support each other, because building up a person, you are boosting him, you're boosting his emotions, giving them self-confidence, than breaking a person down, because that moment that you break a person down, his mind is not where it's supposed to be, as a result of people trying to discredit him. And I want to also make it clear, this morning, everyone knows that we've been supporting this farmer which was assisted to going to Mozambique. He needed a little bit of a cash flow to buy the basic stuff. And I did a posting about international support that came through to us. And someone had the audacity, when we shared it to a grouping, to say, we don't allow people begging for money. I'm not begging for money. I've been assisting this gentleman at an average of between 7.5 and 10,000 Rand a month out of my pocket. I've taken him to the Eastern Cape at my expense, stayed there at my expense for almost 10 days. So if I wanted to beg, I would have asked for people to assist me over the past 10 or 7 months. But I didn't do that. It came out of my own pocket. And when a grouping says this, then I'm thinking, what's their intention? Because it's the very same people that's begging for money through inboxes and messages and everything. Do they want to control funds? Do they want people to pay them so that they could pay other people? It's so unnecessary, people. You get some people that's still honest in South Africa. You get people that's got a desperate need for something. And when I go and I share something, it comes from the heart. It's being honest, it's being loyal, it's being supportive. And you can check my history and my track record. That's who I am. So if I ask for something, I'm not asking for millions. I'm not saying pay it into Johan Rousseau's bank account. I'm not saying pay it into the FIRA bank account. I'm saying contact this gentleman, here's his number, here's his bank details, pay it into his account. We will help him to manage the processes. Why? Because he doesn't have a vehicle to come from point A to point B. So if he needs a toothpaste and a toothbrush and socks and shoes and trousers and a belt and a shirt, then we will help him. We're not going to take the money or a percentage thereof for ourselves. That's ridiculous. The money that came in, which is a small amount, people, has been assisting him to buy a cell phone. And he's sitting close to me. This is a Mobi cell phone that he bought. There it is. You can look. It's a Mobi cell phone. One of the cheapest on the markets. There it is. So that's what he bought. And the reason why he bought that is because he had this phone, which can't even WhatsApp. You remember the old Nokias? He couldn't even WhatsApp with that. And he doesn't have money to send SMSs. So what must he do? Mustn't we help him? He wants to keep contact. WhatsApp is technology. And it's an easy way and the cheapest way of speaking to people. Hier, geef my jou bril. And here I am. He's sitting next to me. This is the spectacles that he bought. Not the best spectacles. I think it's 100 or 150 rand, because he's started losing eyesight because of the work that he's doing. So this is the kind of things that we're doing, people. And if a grouping says that, then I question the intention. I question the intention to assist someone that's desperately in need thereof. And the same, and I've just gone off the tracks a little bit, just chatting a little bit to a lot of people. The fact of the matter is, coming back to Anthony, let's give the man a chance. Let's stop discrediting him. He's done an alarming amount of good work for people in South Africa. Because what you see on Facebook now, you think he's running behind myself or Neil or anyone else. He doesn't need that. Because what he has been doing, he's still doing. And he's still growing the support base. He's still rendering services. He's still dishing out donations. And I think it's unfair, people, to try and discredit a person that's trying to bring about change within the world of addiction, within South Africa, and amongst ourselves, even within the groupings that we are talking to each other. He's firm, he's direct, he doesn't swear as much as he do on social media, but that's how we've learned how Anthony is. Let's not suppress him. We need to be cautious when we move into another space or another level of how we interact with people, but keep in mind how he's been vindicated, how he's been threatened, how his life has been at stake. You have to get security. His daughter has been in a school which was in the media all over. So please, people, let's respect each other. Share this message with Anthony. I think that he deserves to get some good news, and not only a little message on a Facebook which sends hearts and likes and everything and all those things. Let's give him that support. Let's give him what he needs as a person. Just remember, when you're in a leader position or in an organization, heading an organization, it becomes extremely, extremely, extremely lonely. And that's a reason that he always talks on Facebook as well. That's interaction, engaging with people, to show he is the extrovert by excellence. Look at his followers. Look at the ladies that's following him. He's not looking for a lady. He's got a beautiful lady. I'm not looking for a lady either. I like it when people share messages and we make jokes, but I'm not on Facebook for a dating site or a hoekie for eensamers. I've got a focus, and the focus is to change South Africa around and support our team members, the vision and the mission and the objectives of the UIM. That's the only intention. And then also looking at the organization which I founded many years ago to look at the best interest of our members, our networks, and 52.5 million people that voted for us on national television, giving us the mandate to bring change in our industry. And once again, Anthony, we love you and God bless. Do what you do best. You've got my support.